Salesforce's annual developer and admin event, Trailhead DX, kicks off this week. Today, I'm joined by none other than Salesforce's Chief Technology Officer and co-founder, Parker Harris, to talk about the big themes that we can expect to see at this year's event, how Salesforce is betting big on its platform, and what the future holds for software development as companies increase their use of no-code and low-code tools. Parker, thank you for joining me.
Bill, thanks for having me.
So, after 22 years as co-founder and CTO of Salesforce, what's changed the most during that time, especially to drive the software industry forward? Because I know we're here to talk about TDX, but I'd love to start there with that personal perspective for someone that's been in this business for so long.
Well, Bill, everything's changed. Thinking about it, the new operating system is the cloud. If you think, when we started the company, AWS didn't exist, Azure didn't exist, GCP didn't exist. Now people write code and they put it in the cloud. Social didn't exist, Facebook didn't exist, Twitter didn't exist. The phone didn't exist. I mean, we talked about being mobile long time ago, but the smartphone didn't exist. AI certainly existed, but it didn't really work at scale until these hyperscalers came out, and you could throw a lot of compute at it. And all of a sudden, with all the data we have today and all of the compute, machine learning is working amazingly well, and it's everywhere. It's in all of our devices, and it's all of our interactions with the web, and you don't even know it's there. And so in a way, the technology world and platform we started with in 99, everything's changed since then, and Salesforce has evolved along with it.
And that seems to be the watchword these days is platform. So let's use that as the segue to talk about this year's Trailhead DX event. What's coming up and what are going to be the major themes?
Well, the big theme of this conference is all about low code. And, the thing that excites me is we started with a low code platform in 1999. We knew that our customers needed to take our service and make it their own, but they needed to do that quickly and easily. And we needed to do it with one set of software that my developers write. And so we did that with a metadata-driven platform, meaning, Bill, you describe to us with a description. You want the UI to do this. You want the data model to be this way. You want your workflow to be this way. And you just describe it. You do it with clicks, not code. And so, what we're seeing is everyone in a corporation is now empowered to innovate. And they're empowered to innovate. We're doing this interview. We're all in our homes still. Definitely some people are back to work, back in the office. But, this has been a total transformation where everyone's gone digital from their homes. And so it's about innovating from anywhere. It's about taking that low code and automating from anywhere. And because everyone's gone digital, and everyone said, like, I need to sell from my home, I need to service from my home, e-commerce is on fire, marketing's on fire. We need to do that at B2C scale. Because everyone's going digital, it's Black Friday for everyone all the time. And so it's about scaling and, it's about, teaching all of these people in your corporation, empowering them to take those low code tools and be successful, to be creators in their corporation and to innovate for their customers.
And I think that's really unique about, Salesforce's origin, which is clicks, not code. And I'd love to hear you kind of expand on the journey from there to where we are now. Over the last 20 years, in talking about the platform and talking about the emphasis on low code and no code, how has the platform evolved over the last 20 years to do exactly what you say, which is to speed digital transformation, to bring value, to help customers, your customers, connect with their customers?
Well, when you think about where we started, we allowed you to go and change the data model in the UI, and we allowed you to add fields to the screen. But when you think about, the demands now on user experience, we have our point and click, drag and drop interface builder in Lightning Builder that lets you configure your screen exactly like you want. And, a low code developer can do that in a matter of minutes. They don't have to write a lot of code to go do that. You want to automate the workflows in your business, and you don't need to do that by cracking open your editor and writing a lot of code. You can do that with Flow, where you can take our workflow engine and do it with just pointing and clicking in a visual, next step, do this. So having conditional statements, but it's very easy. You don't have to understand. I need an if, then with a bracket here. You just go and look at your browser and you click. We have gone Hyperforce. So as you do all of this automation, as you configure your use of our service with low code, you can deploy it anywhere because of Hyperforce. We can now deploy that workload in the United States, in Europe, in France, in Brazil, wherever you need us to work, we will work for you. So, those hyperscalers, as we said earlier, didn't exist when we started the company, but, everyone's moving to the cloud. Salesforce is moving its workloads to these hyperscalers so that we can give you the power of local data residency, of scale. It's just incredible. There's some innovations. I can't tell you all the innovations that are coming out, because I got a few announcements coming out at TDX, and I hope that you tune in. But there's also some really good partnerships we're going to announce. There's some new tools that we're going to announce, and some great customer stories that will come out at TDX.
So let's talk about the future a little bit. Where do you see and how do you see the platform evolving maybe in the next 2 to 5 years?
One of the things that, my entire career, frankly, has been in the Salesforce automation and CRM space, except for a short stint. I did some accounting software. But even that, and you think about, like, if you take I've seen CRM be redefined, pretty much every year for the past 22 years to encompass, everything is customer centric. If you think about your corporation, what are you in service of? You're in service of your customers. And when I think about the customer 360, you've seen us talk about it. And we started out with Salesforce automation. We added customer service, market automation, e-commerce, collaboration, analytics, integration. All of these touch points are kicking off data. And when you think about the world we're in now, there's an amazing amount of data, and everyone's chasing that data. I talk to CIOs all the time, and they're like, "How do I manage all this data and make sense of it?" In Tableau's worlds, how do I see and understand that data? So that's the analytics of data. But what I'm so excited about is finishing that off. So as we collect all this data for you, and it's your data, not ours. We protect it, we secure it, we manage your data privacy, which is more and more important in this world. As we bring it together, we also let you activate it. So let's say that, Bill, you're coming into my website, or you open a mobile app. What are you doing now? We are not only bringing together data in a batch-oriented way and creating data lakes for you, we're activating it in real time. And, it's the speed of digital. It's the speed of today where, you want to activate that data so that when you come into the website, I want to give you a product recommendation that is specific to you as you're, like if you're on Amazon, how do I give you an Amazon-like experience for your e-commerce? How do I give you a customer service experience that it's like, wow, this is seamless. You know me and you know my problem and you're fixing it right away. You need to close that loop. And so what I'm so excited about is the customer 360, and really making that even better, even more real time, and even more personalized, powered by AI, and allowing it to work on any device, anywhere. That's what I'm so excited about. And it's a dream I've had for 22 years. I'm starting to really see a lot of that come together to fruition, and I just can't wait to activate that in each of our customers.
This episode is brought to you by KPMG Risk Services. KPMG believes that when you've earned the trust of all your stakeholders, that's when your business has a solid platform to grow. That's the trusted imperative. KPMG Risk Services develop and put in place dynamic risk strategies designed to help your business earn that all-important trust. Go to read.kpmg.us/trust to learn more.
Well, I think that's a great segue to my next question, which is, hindsight's always 2020. I mean, but you alluded to this earlier. When Salesforce started, there were no cloud services. The cloud wasn't really a thing. There was no Azure, no GCP, no AWS. So this discussion of building a platform and having it evolve and then looking at that going into the future, it seems like a foregone conclusion, but that was not the case back then. It didn't have to turn out this way. It just did. So it was a huge bet that Salesforce made back then on the platform and focusing on becoming a platform company. Tell me a little bit about that decision, because that was a very good, insightful decision.
Well, Bill, it started with just simply, we had a vision of, instead of shipping software, I don't know if you remember, a long time ago, we had the no software logo. And, the people who were technical would come to me and say, Parker, I know you're writing software. And I would say to them, this is marketing. This is about, certainly we're writing software, but I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to hand you a CD and say, Bill, here's some amazing software. Here's a CD. Good luck. And by the way, you need to buy a computer to put that CD in. You need to hire some people to go manage that computer and, install the software and manage it and make sure it's working. So that was our vision when we started. But, when we thought about, we need to run this software for you, we need to run the software for everyone. And when you run the software for everyone, how do you scale that? How do you manage a company that's going to do that? You need to have a platform. You need to be able to have essentially one runtime engine, one platform that then lets Bill run his service. And, he's in the media space. Okay, great. You have, information you're tracking in media. You have certain workflows that are specific to your industry. You have certain, user experience needs. But that's different than high tech. It's different than financial services. It's different than healthcare. They're all different. And each business in those industry verticals is also very specific. So how do you make it specific to yourself? And how do we continue to give you innovation 3 times a year, seamless upgrades? How do we do that? We do that with our platform. And so we started simply. We just said, all right, we're going to let you change, some basic things in our service. And then we listened to our customers. And then we had one of our customers come in. Sorry, I'm going to turn off my notifications. We had one of our customers come in, and one of our customers was in the healthcare business. And that customer was called Patient Care. And we had these tabs. When we invented Salesforce, we looked at Amazon, we said, okay, I'm going to think about a tab-based interface. So we had accounts instead of CDs. We had contacts instead of books. And so we said to Patient Care, hey, here's your interface. And Patient Care said, but I don't have accounts. I have hospitals. And they said, I don't have contacts. I have patients. And so we said, well, just tell your users to think about, the account as a hospital. But Mark Benioff said, no, I hear you. And we're going to let you change the names of your tabs. We're going to, let you say it's not an account, it's a hospital. It's not a contact, it's a patient. And so we kept listening to our customers. So we allowed you to change the names of tabs. We allowed you to then create your own objects or tables in our service to track information that you wanted. We allowed you to do more with workflow, more with user experience. And the platform just evolved out of listening to our customers and what they needed. And yes, it was a great decision a long time ago. I would say that the most important thing is it's been guided by listening to our customers. And what our customers are saying today is they need the speed and agility of a low-code platform. That's why we have the best low-code platform on the planet. And that's why so many businesses are seeing that agility, not just from their quote unquote developers, but the business user who knows exactly the problem he or she wants to solve doesn't have to translate that somehow to an IT department, to a developer shop to go build something. And then, 3 months later, they get a solution. They're doing it right away and they're doing it themselves. They're empowered to innovate themselves and they're doing it quickly with low code.
Parker, that brings me to my next question, which is all about low code and no code. More IT leaders seem to be adopting no code and low code tools. And, I know Salesforce has always had, clicks, not code as part of its history, but we seem to be reaching a tipping point now as companies really accelerate their digital transformation plans and as IT departments are constrained. Are we at a tipping point with the use of no code and low code tools? And if so, why? Why now?
Well, we've surveyed our customers and we found that, 83% of IT leaders are planning to increase their use of low-code tools. What we're finding is, there's a telco that we've been working with that, we said, look, we need to go fast with you. And we're going to do it with low code and we're going to do it quickly. And I think in this implementation, this is a massive telco. There's only 200,000 lines of code. There's very little code in that offering, and that's because of low code. That we're able to do it quickly and easily. And what I love about low code, this is what I get so excited about, is if you write a lot of code and then you need to enhance it, you're going to have your developers go and write more code. If you use low code, you're taking advantage of our platform underneath it. I have thousands and thousands of developers on staff. And as we release new innovation, we're releasing new innovation right now out to the world with our summer release. And you're going to see some of that at TDX. All of that low code that you're doing takes advantage of the innovation that we're doing. And so it's almost like, a guarantee that you're going to go quickly, not just for that first bit of innovation, but that you can continue to innovate quickly. As new innovation happens, we give it to you and your low code just gets better and better and better.
And that leads me to kind of one of my last questions, which I think is a great place to end up since we're talking about Trailhead DX, your developer event, which is, everyone is really talking about going digital right now. Everybody has especially been on this digital transformation journey that's been accelerated as we were talking about, with the pandemic and everyone working remotely and the shift to a more hybrid work environment. And it really is developers that's making that happen, both on the pro code side and on the low code and the no code side, right? So how is the role of the developer changing? How has it changed? How is it changing? And how do you, as someone who's been in this space as a technical person for so long, how do you see it changing in the future?
The thing I see changing the most is that the developer is getting closer and closer to the business problem, and the agility of solving it is closer and closer. So instead of what the problem I see historically is, you would be given a business problem, you'd hand it off to some engineers. They would then translate that, they'd write some docs, say, this is what you want, then they'd write some code. And then like 6 months later or a year later, they say, Bill, here's your solution. And you go, well, that's not what I wanted. And by the way, my business has changed in the year that I've been waiting for you to solve this problem. And so what it's about is shortening that cycle. And how do you bring the business problem and the solution closer and closer together so you get that business agility? Because business is moving faster than ever. Everyone's gone digital, and you need low-code platforms to bring that together. And so, that's what I'm so excited about, and it's not even just a developer, like that business user that has the problem, as we said earlier, might solve it herself, and that's amazing. And so It's about, it's not about innovation in terms of how much code can I write and what did I build. It's not about the technology. It's about solving business problems. It's about helping our customers connect with their customers and deliver better experience in their sales experience, and their service experience, their marketing experience, e-commerce, all of those touch points. And you want to do that quickly. You want to listen to your customers. Like I said, we built our platform listening to our customers. Our customers are doing the same thing. We have given them the magic that we created with Salesforce. We put it in their hands with this low-code platform, and they're able to have that same kind of agility, that customer centricity, listening to their customers, and the agility that you need in this new world.
Well, Parker, again, thank you very much for being here, talking to us about Trailhead DX, about Salesforce, about all the exciting announcements, innovations that are coming up. I really appreciate it.
Bill, it's a pleasure. Love seeing you. I wish we could be together like we were this last interview live at TDX. I think the next one will be in person, I hope. But thank you for having me here today.
All right, me too. I share the sentiments. Maybe Dreamforce. Maybe we'll get to do that one in person.
Maybe Dreamforce. Yeah, we're working on that. Stay tuned.
All right, Parker. Thank you again.
Thank you, Bill.